Hey, Assalamu alaikum. This is going to be a video about my reversion story or conversion story to Islam. Am I wearing enough contrasting patterns right now? Like, is my outfit busy enough? Um, yeah, so my name is. I get distracted easily, so if I go off on a tangent in this video, yeah, that's the reason. So, where was I? I'm already distracted. Okay, my name is Melanie, and I am a revert to Islam. I'm American. I'm biracial and Vietnamese, and so I reverted to Islam in 2007, and I started to wear the hijab like officially full time in 2010. Okay, so when I was younger, I wouldn't really consider. Okay, just trying to figure out where to start. When I was younger, my parents put my brother and I in a Catholic school to kind of just introduce us to the idea of religion. And I went to that Catholic school from second grade to fifth grade. And my father's side of the family is Buddhist, and my mother's side of the family is well, she was raised Episcopalian, but she's not really religious at all, like no religion. And there's some Judaism in my mother's side of the family, but no one really practices Judaism anymore. It's like for centuries, I guess. But so in all my life, I wouldn't really consider myself I didn't really consider myself an agnostic, because with agnosticism you have to kind of like, I guess, think about it, like, is there a God, is there not a God, what is religion, does and try to make sense of all that. But I was introduced to the idea, the basics of religion when I was a child. The Trinity, and this is Jesus, and Catholicism, and Virgin Mary, and this is God, and this is a church, and all those things, and spirituality kind of things. But once I left that school and went to another elementary school, I just did not think about religion at all. Like, there was no place for religion in my life. I didn't think about God or just anything pertaining to that. And so, I guess, and so I guess, like age 20, around the age 20, I was just trying to figure out. I just, I felt different from everyone else, like in my personality versus my friends, and my values, and just the way I approached the world and saw the world and perceived everything. And that really, it really made me think about who I am for the first time. And also at that time, like, I was at a city college at that time. I was like 19, 20, and all these male students were like sexually harassing me, and also just like calling me sexy. And that really bothered me because, at that time I didn't really consider myself to be sexy. It it really took a long time for me to grow in my identity and femininity also. And also, my personality, like, even before my reversion to Islam, because like Islam is a religion of modesty, and way before even I was a Muslim, my personality is like really extremely modest and shy. And even before I was Muslim, I dressed really, really modestly because, first of all, I'm tiny. I'm like 90 pounds and I'm 4'11". So even in the summer, I get cold. Because, in the buildings, they crank the AC up and it's like 30 degrees inside. So it's like, well, I gotta bring a sweater. But anyways, I'm going off on a tangent. Um, yeah, so even before then, I dressed like really, really modestly. For conventional reasons, I was always cold, and plus, I just didn't like a lot of attention on me, and I just wanted to. I wanted people to focus on different aspects of me rather than how sexy I am or attractive I am or whatever. Like, focus on how intellectual I am. And I'm still like that to this day. Um, but I just felt so different from everyone else, and it really made me think a lot who I am and what do what do I believe in and everything. I just felt lost and didn't know who I was and where my life was going and what does it all mean and what is this society, you know? And so it was also like around my 21st birthday. You know, in America, that's when you're legally allowed to start drinking. And so it was like maybe a week or a few days before my birthday, my 21st birthday, and all my friends and everyone was like, "Are you gonna go out drinking on your 21st birthday?" And I was like, "No, no, I'm not." And people were shocked, like, "You're not gonna go out drinking on your 21st birthday? Everyone does that. Like, what's wrong with you?" But you know, I just never had any interest in alcohol. Like, to this day, I have never drunk any alcohol, like, never. Any beer, alcohol, vodka, or whatever. I just had no interest in it. And so like the fact that people were shocked that I just had no interest in going out to a club or bar on my 21st birthday and getting drunk and you know, doing that kind of thing, it just like it really I don't know, it just made me confused and angsty. It's like, why don't I fit into this world, into this society? Okay, so and then okay, just trying to think. I have an outline. I wrote it on a napkin so I just don't get lost and just keep rambling on about nothing or like going off on a tangent. So, okay. 21st birthday, sexual harassment. Okay. So, I guess like the next summer, I don't know, like the exact timeline. Like sometime in the summer, I just I was like on a I just found myself on an intellectual quest. Um, and then I just started to ask myself questions about religion. I guess this is where the agnosticism came into my life, just like briefly. Um, and the questions I started to ask myself intellectually, because like I was on an intellectual quest, like me being all intellectual and all. I'm so smart. Anyways. So I went to the City College Library and I went to the religion section, the anthropology section, and I started to look into the origins, that like the really, really basic fundamental origins of religion, like anthropology wise, like animism and I want to say anamorphism, but that I don't think that's it. But animism definitely, and just like how the idea of really, really preliminary ideas of spirituality came about. And I was just like trying to figure out the question, the big epic question: did God create humans or did humans create us? Um, but at that point, it wasn't really a spiritual question. It was like, I want to research this and be like intellectual and write a research paper just for fun and PowerPoint presentation and uh, you know, I'm really a nerd. Cite sources and bibliography. Um, yeah, so, but like, you know, so I was doing an intellectual quest on religion, but at that time, I was also trying to figure out who I was and why I felt so different in this society, in this world, and why am I different from everyone else? Why, like my personality and who I am, how I see myself. So I guess like the more I researched, the more it became less intellectual and the more I started to think about myself in terms of spirituality. And at that time, I started to notice a lot more Muslim women around town, just like wearing, you know, like wearing the hijab. And I was like, I like the idea of hijab. That's really nice. I wish I could wear that, you know? And so, as time went on, the more I started to gravitate more towards religion, like spirituality wise. And I guess like Allah led me to Islam that way, because, for the first time I was like, Islam, I really, really want to look into that. And the more I researched into Islam, it was like just the more it sunk into my heart. And kind of getting lost, trying to losing my train of thought. Yeah. Losing my train of thought. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Trying to follow my outline. Okay. So, and also I guess like it was sometime around Christmas time. And, my father's side of the family is Buddhist, and my mother's side of the family isn't really religious at all. And everyone was celebrating Christmas, and it really confused me. It's like, if we're Buddhist, then why are we celebrating Christmas? And it just threw me into, like, existential despair, like, existential mode for a while. It's like, what does this all mean? We're Buddhist, but I'm not really. Oh my gosh, it confused me so much. And also, I just, the more I researched into Islam, the more I just completely fell in love with it. But I was trying to resist it too, because, once you convert to a religion or become a religious person, it changes your identity. It changes the way you view yourself and the way others view you. And, you like, I guess, start to wear hijab, or, it's a choice whether you want to wear it or not as a woman, but, like hijab and like bayas and, oh my gosh, Islam. And, there's all these kind of like ideas about Islam in the media, like Islam is bad, and, 9/11 and bad terrorism things. And it was like, wow. So I really had to think, like, Islam in the media, politics, and all that messy stuff, that's another Fox News kind of thing. Islam versus Islam, the one I'm researching in my heart, is like a religion. So I really, really tried to resist it. But the more I resisted, the more it pulled on my heart, and I really, with all my heart and soul, I wanted to be Muslim. So I was like, you know what? One day I was like, you know what? The hell with it. I'm becoming Muslim. But, at that time, in my early 20s, I was so incredibly shy. Like, my social anxiety and confidence in myself at that time was, like, in my early 20s, was, like, really, really, my social anxiety was high. So I didn't officially, like, revert with witnesses and everything in a masjid, or a mosque or masjid. I just said it. I said the shahada in my heart without witnesses. And I was like, you know what? I said this sincerely in my heart, so now I'm a Muslim. And also, just want to backtrack one thing. Like I said, my father's side of the family is Buddhist. And, at that time, when I was right before I reverted to Islam in my heart, I was like, well, I'm Asian, so I should be Buddhist. Makes logical sense. And I looked into Buddhism for a while. It really appealed to me intellectually, but it just didn't grab onto my heart. And also, like, what is that? In the Quran, it says, "Don't follow your father's religion because it's because it's your father's religion." So it's like, yeah, okay, that makes sense. Don't follow it because it's just my father's religion. Yeah, so I became Muslim, and I started to wear the hijab a little bit to experiment with it, just to introduce the idea to my family and friends and to everyone that I'm Muslim now. But it wasn't until 2010 was when I officially, like, full time started to wear hijab. So yeah, it just. Whew, this video is getting long enough. I don't want to make this video too long. Yeah, okay. So, My name is Melanie, or as Muslims know me as Mu'mina, and that's my reversion story. So yeah, Assalamu alaikum.